Hi, I'm Marc, and welcome to the weekly Outside Views report on the politics in Africa and Arabia. And today we have to talk about Israel. After 5 days of violence in the Gaza Strip, an Egyptian brokered ceasefire came into effect on Saturday. And Israel even opened 2 border crossings there. So this ceasefire between Israel and the militant Palestinian organization Islamic Jihad appears to be holding after renewed fighting late into the night. The ceasefire came into effect at 9 p.m. European time on Saturday. A leader of the jihad confirmed this agreement with Israel on Egyptian television at the time. The agreement was also confirmed by Israel's national security advisor Tzachi Hanek, according to a statement from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. After days of bitter fighting, a temporary end to the violence seems within reach. Jihadi leader Ziad al-Nachala declared fighting with Israel to end once the ceasefire came into effect. "Our people stood firm and were not crushed," is what al-Nachala said in a video message. "We have endured what we have endured to maintain our united, strong and unwavering stance." In the Gaza Strip, people celebrated in the streets. Israel lifted exit restrictions and opened 2 of its border crossings to the Hamas-controlled coastal area. Despite the ceasefire, however, there were renewed verbal threats from both sides. After the agreement, Israel's national security advisor Hanek warned that Israel would defend itself in the event of further attacks. He thanked Egypt for its great efforts in mediating an end to the fighting. According to him, rest with rest should be answered. According to the army, Israeli roads near the border that were closed due to concerns about anti-tank missile attacks were also reopened on Sunday. Egypt came into play as a mediator shortly after the violence broke out on Tuesday, and as it had done many times before. However, negotiations on a ceasefire initially faltered. According to the army, there was already a kind of unofficial declaration of a ceasefire on Wednesday. Even after the agreement became known on Saturday evening, militant Palestinians fired numerous missiles at Israel. Media reported missile alerts on Nirim and Ein Hashlosha near the Gaza Strip border. Warning sirens and explosions could also be heard in the greater Tel Aviv area. According to paramedics, 3 Israelis were injured on the way to shelters. Israel's Air Force again attacked targets in the coastal strip then. The US government welcomed the ceasefire. The United States worked closely with regional partners to achieve the solution to prevent further loss of life. That's what the White House said on Saturday evening. Washington also thanked Egypt for the crucial diplomatic efforts. The United States believes that both Israelis and Palestinians deserve to live in security and enjoy equal freedom, prosperity, and democracy. That's what the US State Department said. Since Tuesday, Israel had launched a large-scale military offensive against jihad in the Gaza Strip. According to the army, more than 370 positions were attacked and 6 high-ranking members were specifically killed. The jihad is the second most powerful military force in the Gaza Strip after Hamas and aims to destroy Israel. According to the army, the militant Palestinians fired more than 1,200 missiles and mortar shells towards Israel in the past few days, 970 of which crossed the border. 33 people, including 6 children, have been killed in the Gaza Strip since the start of the Israeli military offensive. More than 140 were injured. According to the Israeli army, 4 civilians were killed by misguided jihadi missiles, and this could not initially be verified independently. A Palestinian from the Gaza Strip was also killed on Saturday after a missile hit the Israeli side. He had a permit to work in Israel and was hit by a missile fired from the Gaza Strip. In Israel, an 80-year-old died when a missile hit her on Thursday. And more than 2 million people live in the Gaza Strip in very poor conditions. Hamas violently seized power in the Palestinian territory in 2007. Israel then tightened the blockade of the coastal area, which is supported by Egypt. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.